What's going on, everybody? This is Brian from SneakerFiles.com, recapping the news. And before I jump into things, like always, greatly appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. Now, in this video, there is quite a few highlights, and some of those highlights includes details on the upcoming Air Jordan 11 Space Jam Galaxy. Yes, there's a second pair dropping. As well, I have details on the upcoming Air Jordan 5 Halloween and the Air Jordan 3 Santa. Now, there's a lot more from Jordan Brand, including a first look at the Air Jordan 4 Toro, and I do have an update on the Maniere Air Jordan 4 situation. Now, there's a lot more from Jordan Brand in this video, and there's a handful of stuff from Nike. And now, let's jump into the news. Sometime back, details came out that the Nike Air Max 95 Olympic would return in 2026. Now, I believe I featured them in quite a few videos, but we now have a first look, which are of the official photos. Now, this isn't an OG colorway, but it's an older one, and they first dropped in 2004. And this pair celebrated the 2004 Olympic Games in Athens. Now, the official photos do look close to the OG. The shape is a bit different. Now, the pair also features a flag of Athens on the tongue. The colors on the shoes also reflect the Olympic rings. They also feature gold accents, obviously for the gold medal, a white midsole, and a black rubber outsole. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a specific release date, but they are expected to drop spring 2026, meaning a release should take place anytime now. Also, the retail price will be $190. In this video, there will be quite a few official photos, and another set of official images we have is for the Nike Kobe 8 PROTRO Year of the Horse. Now, I do believe images started to circulate of the shoe a couple weeks back, but we have the official, which, in my opinion, is our best look. So, as many of you know, 2026 marks the Year of the Horse. Now, for this pair, it is an OG colorway, and they initially dropped in 2014. You know, if you compare the 2014 with the 2026, you know, the color blocking and everything does look on point, but the overall shape does look a bit modified on the 2026. Now, that could be due to the fact that it's a PROTRO, but typically with the PROTRO releases, it's the tech that's upgraded. But I don't know, maybe it's just me, but you can let me know if you see it down below. Now, the pair will feature a light crimson, vivid blue, and bright citron colorway. The pair is scheduled to drop on January 31st, and the retail price will be $200. In the last video, I talked about the upcoming Nike Zoom Hyperflight Jason Williams PE, which will be released to the public for the first time. Now, that obviously isn't the only colorway returning, but we also have the OG Nike Zoom Hyperflight in black dropping again. Now, the official colorway is black and white. This pair is super simple. It features mainly black throughout with some white detailing. This pair is definitely nice, but I obviously prefer the Jason Williams pair. Now, I did hear about some additional colorways that are supposed to come out. For example, there's a pink pair that's supposed to drop, I believe with some floral print on the insoles, and there's a matching bucket hat. I haven't leaked those yet, but I'm talking about them now. Also, the OG red pair, I believe Varsity Red is the shade. That pair will be returning as well. Now, those two pairs for sure, I believe both of those will be for summer. But for this pair, super simple, and they're scheduled to drop on March 27th, and the retail price will be $170. So, official images came out of the Supreme Nike SB Air Max CB94 Low Pack. Now, this pack will consist of 3 colorways, and before I move forward, now, you guys might remember, maybe 9 months ago, give or take, I talked about an upcoming Nike SB Air Max CB94 Low dropping. At that time, I only knew of one colorway. I did learn there was 2 additional colorways dropping, but about 2 months ago, I found out that it would actually be a Supreme collaboration. Now, I had planned on talking about it, but I'm going to be honest, I kind of forgot, so that's my fault on that. And initially, when I leaked the information, I thought it was kind of a big deal. I thought it was going to be well received. We have Charles Barkley's shoe that can now be used for skating. However, I'm not going to lie to you guys, when I heard Supreme's name attached to it, the hype that I felt for them dropped tremendously. Just because Supreme, as of late, I don't think they do a great job. The overall look of a lot of their collabs isn't that great. The gold pair isn't horrible, but the other two colorways, the all black and the white and gum pair, yeah, it's not that great to me. Now, don't get me wrong, the Air Darwin, that was a good shoe. I do wish we would eventually see the Air Darwin return to retailers, but just looking at the shoe, although it's labeled an SB, I don't see anything modified for skateboarding. It just looks like we have a regular CB94 low with Supreme branding and Nike SB branding. Now, if you do like the colorways, don't let me take away from it. I'm just expressing my opinion. But as for the three upcoming colorways, we have one in metallic gold, black, and varsity red. The second features white, gum light brown, and varsity red. And then the third features black and metallic silver. You know, maybe if they did some inline colorways detached from Supreme, I might like them, but these, not really it for me. But you can let me know your thoughts down below. Now, as for a specific release date, unfortunately, I don't know one, but the entire pack is expected to drop spring 2026, so meaning anytime now until the end of March, and the retail price will be $145. Now, official images obviously did leak of all three pairs, so there is a possibility they drop on the Sneakers app, but for sure they'll drop at Supreme. I'm just not sure about on the Sneakers app, so more details coming soon. Moving on to Jordan brand, and some of you might remember the Air Jordan 11 Rare Air. They dropped in 2025, not too long ago. Now, for those who play baseball, Jordan brand is going to release a baseball cleat of that shoe. So this will be an MCS baseball cleat, and the official colorway is Cell, Deep Royal Blue, and Fire Red. Now, the overall look does resemble the Rare Air Jordan 11. The only difference is now that it features cleats. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on it, just wanted to showcase the photos. And unfortunately, we don't have a specific release date, but again, this pair will drop spring 2026, so sometime between now and March, and the retail price will be $225. Maybe 2 to 3 videos back, I talked about a situation between Maniere and a customer who purchased the Maniere Air Jordan 4. That dropped in December. Now, unfortunately, the individual who actually received it as a Christmas gift, the sneakers were missing insoles, the netting was cut, the extra laces were gone, as well as the hang tag. So overall, it was a bad look in my opinion, and I let you guys know I would do an update, and then a week goes by, I'm waiting for an update, I finally get one, but I don't have the email screenshot of it yet. So I didn't want to just relay the message, I wanted to actually showcase the email. And when I was talking about the APB Air Jordan 11 Low, I was very mad about the situation. Now, I will say that it has been resolved, but at first it wasn't, and I was actually kind of upset about how they responded. Now, I am going to show a screenshot of the email. I'm going to blur out any private information. I believe there's a phone number, last names, and stuff like that. That will be blurred out. So the individual who received the shoes as a gift, his name is Freddie, and his initial email to Maniere is, "Hello, I received my raffle order," and then I'm going to blur it out just because I don't know if that's private information or not. But there were quite a few defects in regards to my shoes, as there are no insoles, shoe tag is missing, extra shoelaces are missing, and defects on the netting on the right shoe. Please contact me immediately in regards to this matter, as I do have pictures as well. My contact number is, and I'm blurring that out. So, Maniere responded, and their response is, "Hello, Freddie. I understand your concerns regarding the defects and missing items with your order. I will escalate this matter to the appropriate team who will assist you further. Please note, the response time in this chat is typically around 15 minutes. Thank you for your patience." Now, I'm going to assume that it took 15 minutes to get this response. And this is the response that I'm not happy about, that initially made me upset, and that's kind of why I went off about Maniere in that video. Now, this email comes from somebody named John, and it reads, "I'm really sorry to hear about the condition of your raffle order, and I completely understand how upsetting and frustrating this must be, especially after finally receiving your pair and discovering missing components and defects. Thank you for taking the time to explain everything so clearly, and I truly appreciate you offering to provide photos. After reviewing your order, and I'm going to blur this out, I do want to clarify a bit more about how raffle orders work. Because this was an EQL raffle win, and all raffle purchases are considered final sell, and we're unfortunately unable to process returns, exchanges, or replacements. Additionally, all raffle items are sent to us directly from the vendor, and in this case, Nike is ultimately responsible for the product's quality, condition, and included accessories such as insoles, tags, and extra laces. Due to this, we're not able to replace missing items or address manufacturing defects on our end. That said, your best next step would be to reach out to Nike directly, as they have the proper authority and resources to review defects and missing components. You can contact Nike customer support at, I'm going to blur that out, I mean it is public information, but just because YouTube is weird, but it is Nike's number, available daily from 4 a.m. to 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and let them know you have photos documenting the issues. They'll be best equipped to advise you on any options that may be available under their product warranty. I know this isn't the resolution you were hoping for, and I truly empathize with your disappointment. Please know this is not the experience we want for you, and I appreciate your understanding given the limitations of the EQL and vendor policies. If you have any further questions or need clarification on anything, I'm always here to help. Warm regards, John. Now, to me, this is a horrible response, a horrible policy. I don't believe that EQL enforces this type of policy. And even if they did, I would also think that the customer is ultimately the person you want to make happy, because they're the ones who are going to buy with you. Because if they don't, you don't even have to use EQL, because you're just going to be sitting on sneakers. That's pretty much it. But what really made me mad about this whole situation is that if I buy something from you, now you're saying you can't help me, I have to go to Nike. Yes, Nike more than likely would be able to do a return. They may make me jump through the hoops and so forth, but that's not who I bought it from. I bought it from Maniere. If I buy a pair of sneakers from Foot Locker, I can take those sneakers back to Foot Locker with no issues. They're not going to tell me to go talk to Nike, even if it's a Nike product. I feel that is 100% cop-out on Maniere's part. Another example, if I go to Target and let's say I buy a Lego set or something along those lines, and for some reason I open it and there's a bunch of bags missing, I'm going to go there. They're not going to tell me, hey, you got to go return this with Lego. You got to take it up with them. No, they're going to take care of me right then and there. Sure, I know Maniere doesn't have as many stores as Target does, but still, for them to pass it along to someone else, even though it is a Nike product, to me, that's just bad customer service. Now, there is a good part to all this, and I don't know if the individual Freddie responded at all, or if they immediately did a follow-up email, because I just didn't get that part of it. And this follow-up email is from somebody named Carla, so it's a totally different person. I'm not sure what happened between the John and Carla email, but this email reads, Dear Freddie, I hope this message finds you well. I'm very sorry to hear that the item you received was damaged. I completely understand how disappointing this must be, and I sincerely apologize for the inconvenience. We want to make this right for you. To help resolve the issue, we're happy to offer an exchange for the same item in the same size as your original order. Please let us know if you'd like to proceed with the exchange, and we'll help guide you through the process to ensure it's as smooth and quick as possible. Rest assured, we're committed to making sure you received a perfect item. Thank you so much for your patience and understanding. We truly value your business and are here to help every step of the way. So I don't know what happened. Obviously, Carla and the people at Maniere did the right thing. They're going to handle it. I do hope that they're going to pay for shipping. Now, I did get an email from somebody who showed me their pair, and their pair was pretty bad as well. It was really scratched up, something that I wouldn't personally be happy with, and a lot of you wouldn't be as well. But Maniere did take care of them. They didn't give the resistance that this email had, and they did pay for the shipping back. So going forward, they may try to do this again where they hide behind EQL for sending out bad products, because I've been hearing quite a few issues, not just with their customer service, but the quality of the products they're sending out. And I've even heard that some of the shipping on some of the past products have people waiting a long time. So going forward in 2026, if there's bad businesses out there doing bad things, I should say, not bad businesses, because I don't think Maniere is a bad business overall. I think that this case was initially wrong and they made it right, so good for them. For me, I do plan on calling other businesses out for wrongful practices. Now, on a side note, I am putting together, I guess you could say, a call out video. I decided I'm going to do it because there is a YouTuber who, in my opinion, for legal reasons, I'm saying my opinion, scams some people. So I'll be dropping that video probably next week. I'm still gathering all the details. We have a first look at the upcoming Air Jordan 3 Spring is in the Air. Now this pair features a Cell, Jade Aura, Ice Carmine, Muslin, and Iris Whisper colorway. This will be another pair that features Nike Air branding. There's quite a few new colorways that feature Nike Air, which is a bit odd. Way more than last year. Matter of fact, I'm going to talk about a few in this video aside from this pair. But the overall look of the shoe definitely has kind of Easter vibes or even spring vibes to them. I mean, it makes sense. The pair is called Spring is in the Air. Now, to go over the pair, it features a white leather up top. We have green on the elephant print around the toe and heel. There's pink used on the Nike Air on the heel, as well as the rubber outsole. Now, we have this muslin aged look on part of the midsole, a light shade of blue up top, and purple on the eye stays and the ankle. Now, where the Nike Air is behind it, it's translucent, and then on the inside of the tongue, we have green. Now, this pair will drop in adult sizing. To me, these aren't bad. It's just that it's not a must-have for me. Now, some of you may love this shoe, and now, like I always say, buy what you like. But yeah, for me, this isn't something I totally like. If I saw them on discount, maybe if they were like $50, but I don't think I'll go that low. But anyways, as for the release info, they drop on March 28th, and the retail price will be $215. All right, so we got some new in-hand photos of the Air Jordan 11 Low University Blue. Now, this colorway is one of the first colorways of the Air Jordan 11 Low to be released. As most of you know, this pair initially dropped in 2001, which is around the time that other colorways were introduced as well, and the first time that we saw the Air Jordan 11 Low drop to the public, not the IE Low. Now, the last time we saw this colorway release was in 2017. Now, another thing I do notice is that the in-hand photos, that shade of blue, it really pops. I thought maybe the initial look we saw, it was due to the lighting, but that isn't the case because these look very vibrant as well. I personally don't mind the look. I think it looks good. Being more vibrant, I actually prefer that. I don't know how you guys feel. You can let me know down below. I will admit, though, overall, I'm not a huge fan of the Air Jordan 11 Low. There are certain colorways that I do like. This pair I do like. It's a nice summer shoe. Will I be racing to get them? Probably not, just again, because there's so many great releases coming. Quite a few in this video as well. But as for a specific release date, this pair will drop on April 18th, and the retail price will be $195. As most of you know, the Levi's Air Jordan 3 pack will consist of 3 colorways. Now, 2 of those colorways' official images have leaked, giving us a detailed look. Also, there is a potential release date. Now, those 2 colorways includes the black denim pair, which a lot of people like, including myself, probably the best from the pack. And the other pair was initially known as Cell Denim, but it's actually known as Year of the Horse. So this is a nod to 2026 being the Year of the Horse. Now, some of the details on this specific pair includes horsehair around the toe and heel. It does come with Nike Air, which lands on the heel and the insoles. Also, the outsole reads Nike. Now, the Jumpman is done in red. It also comes with a hang tag. With Nike Air, it's see-through, and in it, it looks like a Levi's denim patch, something you would see attached to jeans. And then on the opposite side, we have the Levi's branding, and then within it is Nike Air. So it's kind of dope. Also, there is some red on the back heel tab. We have Nike Air in white. It looks like the insoles have vintage ads from Levi's. Other details includes denim on the upper and a gum rubber outsole. Now, the second pair, which is known as black denim, I've gone over these in a previous video, but the pair does remind me of the black cement Air Jordan 3. It does feature black leather up top. We have denim on the mudguard, as well as around the toe, the eye stays, ankle, and heel. Now, the insoles on this pair are the same as the Year of the Horse, same as the hang tag. I forgot to mention both pairs will feature a small Levi's label in red, which lands on the lateral side of the right shoe. For some reason, it's only on the right shoe. And then it features a Cell midsole and a black rubber outsole. Other details includes frayed detailing on the heel, a white midsole, and a black rubber outsole. Now, both pairs will come with special packaging, and as for the release date, both pairs are expected to drop on February 21st, and the retail price will be $230 each. We got a first look at the Air Jordan 6 cap and gown, and these are a bit different compared to the mock-up that I put out. Now, going forward, even if I see the shoes, I'm going to say that, there's times where things could change, because more so now than often, I'm seeing sample pairs that slightly change. Not drastically. I know I'm very clear if I've seen the shoes or not in videos, but I feel like there's times where even if I see them, details do change. So this is one of them, and I'll be saying that about a couple other pairs later on. Now, I personally like the mock-up more than what's coming out. I was under the impression that the outline of the 2-3 on the panels would be 3M reflective, and I did talk about that, but I didn't know that you would still see silver on it even when the light's not hitting it. Now, the pair also features mainly black. It has a unique material within the 2-3. In some of these close-up photos, you'll be able to see it. It kind of looks like smoke in certain angles. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be that or what. And the biggest surprise to me is that they feature Nike Air on the heels. Again, another shoe that is not an OG that features Nike Air. I could already tell that Jordan Brand is going to eventually beat this Nike Air into the ground. I do like that some shoes have Nike Air on them that aren't OGs, but not every single pair needs to have it. Anyways, that's just my opinion. Some of you may like this shoe. For me, it's a definite pass, but there's definitely worse releases coming out this year. Now, as for the release info, this pair is scheduled to drop on April 2nd, and the retail price will be $215. Jordan Brand just unveiled the Air Jordan 6 Reverse Infrared. Now, they're calling them Infrared Salesman. I don't like that nickname, so I'm not going to call them that. But if you want to call them that, perfectly fine. Just for me, I'm going to call them Reverse Infrared. Now, they put out a whole press release and new images. I will include the photos, and I'm going to read the press release. But some of you may remember when I initially leaked this shoe, the nickname that Jordan Brand gave them behind the scenes was Salesman Sample. Now, I'm going to read from Nike's press release about the shoes just because there's a lot of details, and it's best described in the press release. But it reads, during its 35th anniversary year, the Air Jordan 6 is returning in a legendary colorway and with a twist. The AJ6 Infrared Salesman, an accompanying apparel collection, celebrates the silhouette that started what would culminate in an incredible 6 NBA championship wins and 6 NBA Finals MVPs. In terms of championship pedigree, the Air Jordan 6 started it all. Designed by Tinker Hatfield, the AJ6 Infrared was born by Michael Jordan during the 1991 playoffs, where he overcame league superstars and conference foes to win his first title. The AJ6 Infrared colorway has re-released a number of times, the first time in the year 2000, and has included changes both obvious, it appeared in 2010 and 2014 without Nike Air branding on the heel, and subtle, both years featured slightly different shades of infrared. One version, however, was kept under wraps for almost 30 years, an infrared sample that appeared in a 1999 seasonal preview catalog before it was pulled from production. That would be Eastbay's catalog. The biggest update to this model was the placement of the infrared shade, as it was spread to most of the midsole instead of being reserved for just the heel and parts of the toe. In spring 2026, the Air Jordan 6 Infrared Salesman is releasing for the first time, featuring details from the original like the extended infrared placement across the midsole, a black nubuck upper, a visible air unit in the heel, and a dynamic fit inner sleeve. The newest version features a specific shade of infrared that was reverse engineered by comparing both the 1991 and 2000 pairs side by side to ensure the exact specifications were met. The new Salesman is also the first non-collaboration AJ6 to feature an updated shape that closely resembles the original 1991 silhouette. The internal booty construction has been modified to allow the toe shape to be closer to the pairs MJ wore and played in. The Jordan Brand team also modified the tongue height, raising it by 2 mm to mimic all the AJ6 pairs MJ wore in game, which featured a noticeably taller tongue than what was previously featured on the style available to consumers. Hinting at the sample's origins, the new design includes the sample text printed on the inner collar, as well as the factory hang tag and packaging that resembled how footwear samples arrive for review before they are produced. These samples are typically used to sell into retailers. It's the centerpiece of the infrared collection, says Terrence Harvey, expert streetwear footwear product management icons Jordan brand. MJ won his first championship in this colorway, and since then it has represented greatness. I'm excited for the newly reimagined icon to inspire fans to always strive for more. Accompanying the release of the colorway is an apparel pack including classic infrared Jordan brand design graphics and additional footwear with infrared detailing, including an Air Jordan 1 Low and the Flight Court. Now, as for the release info, this pair will drop on February 14th for NBA All-Star Weekend, and the retail price will be $215. Expect these to be a big GR. Tons of pairs available, but again, there is some hype. I do believe these might be slightly difficult to obtain, but as long as you enter raffles and do all the footwork you need to, you should be able to obtain them. We also have a first look at the Air Jordan 4 Toro, also known as Toro Bravo. Now, I'm not going to lie, these look incredible. The shape has been updated to reflect the OG mold, and that's really the biggest difference here. Now, with these photos, we obviously have confirmation that it will be a Jumpman, not Nike Air. You know, they've been using Nike Air so much, it wouldn't have surprised me if this pair actually had Nike Air. But other than that, the overall blocking is on point to the original release, which took place in 2013. When these initially dropped, they sold very well. They sold out fast. They were reselling for quite a bit of money. And 13 years later, they are returning, which, in my opinion, I feel like they're better now than then, just because the shape has been updated. The quality does look nice as well. Obviously, you want to get these in hand to confirm it, but around 2013, 2012, the Jordan 4, well, most Jordans, the quality wasn't that great. The shape was also pretty bad, so Jordan brand giving these an update and bringing them back is definitely needed. A lot of people wanted this shoe to return. And as for the release info, they are currently scheduled to drop on May 2nd. The retail price will be $220. Now, going forward, for the rest of this video will be leaks. It will be exclusive to the channel. I'm sure you'll see it floating around on Instagram and other websites and so forth, but it originated here in collaboration with Z Sneakerhead Z, of course. But the first pair I'm going to talk about is the Air Jordan 3 Santa. Yes, Jordan brand is calling this pair Santa. Now, what is shown is a mock-up. However, it is close to what will be released. Again, it's very possible things could change just because in the past, I've seen samples or I've seen renderings and so forth of what is supposed to drop and things do change. Now, I don't have the specific colorway, but what I can say about the shoes is that they feature mainly red throughout. They also feature red on the Jumpman, on the tongue, and used across the elephant print. Now, cell will be used on the midsole, tongue, laces, the eye stays, and the Nike Air on the heel because as it stands right now, this pair will feature Nike Air. Now, to complete the look, it will have black, which lands on the backdrop of the heel and across the rubber outsole. What I saw on these, I wasn't impressed, I'll be honest, but some of you may like them. Now, I know this isn't a Christmas shoe, but I feel like there should be green. I mean, technically it is a Christmas shoe, but it's supposed to represent Santa Claus, who doesn't have any green on his outfit. I'm just wondering why they would put Nike Air on these, but either way, if you do like them, they are currently scheduled to drop on November 21st, so a little over a month before Christmas, and the retail price is expected to be $215. Next up, we have the Air Jordan 5 Halloween. So Jordan brand is calling this pair Halloween, and it will be released for the holidays. So what is shown is close to what will be released, but again, things could change. And I don't have the specific colorway, but as you can see, the pair will come dressed in black, orange, and green. Now, the overall look on the upper kind of reminds me of the Black Cat Air Jordan 5 that was supposed to drop. The netting will also be a darker shade, black on the tongue, and so forth. Now, there is some orange which accents the number 23 on the side, placed on the flames on the midsole and within the air unit. Now, green runs across the outsole. The outsole could glow in the dark. I'm not entirely sure. It kind of looks like it did, but I can't confirm it, but it is this shade of green. Now, some people might be wondering if this pair is a grade school exclusive, but it's actually dropping in adult sizing. I'm not sure if it's dropping in grade school or not, probably, but at the time of recording, I can't confirm that. But adult sizing for sure. Now, again, this pair will have Nike Air branding. I'm not entirely sure why. I'm not necessarily mad at it because I do like the colorway, but as you can see, the theme is definitely Nike Air going forward on non-OG colorways. Now, as for the release info, this pair will drop on October 24th, so just before Halloween, and the retail price is expected to be $220. Let me know your thoughts on this pair down below. In the past videos, I talked about there potentially being two versions of the Space Jam Air Jordan 11 dropping. Now, I wasn't sure about it, and then shortly after that, in another video, I said, more than likely it'll be one with special packaging, one without. I wasn't sure though, I was kind of guessing. However, I can confirm that it actually will be a second pair dropping, and this pair is known as the Air Jordan 11 Space Jam Galaxy. Now, what's shown is a mock-up. However, it is close to what will be released, but again, things could change. And take note that the Galaxy print used on the mudguard, where the patent leather is, that could change as well. The actual print, that is. But as many of you know, there is a part of the movie Space Jam which is celebrating its 30th anniversary, which takes place in outer space. So alongside the Space Jam Air Jordan 11, the pair we all know about, they're also dropping a Galaxy version. Now the pair will feature white leather up top, silver will land on the Jumpman by the heel, we have white on the midsole, and a somewhat translucent rubber outsole. Now, obviously the biggest standout feature of the shoe will be that it features Galaxy print on the mudguard, basically where the patent leather is. Now, from what I saw initially, it did display shades of green, purple, and blue throughout, but again, the actual print could differ. Now, the Space Jam Air Jordan 11, the pair that most of us are going for, that will be a GR. This won't be. This will be a limited release. Now, they will drop on the Sneakers app as well as neighborhood retailers. As of now, don't expect these to drop at places like Foot Locker, Finish Line, and so forth. Also, the retail price has gone up. These will not be $235 like the other Air Jordan 11 Space Jam, but these are expected to cost $255. They're also dropping on the same day, December 12th. So if you do like both pairs, it will be an expensive day. Plus, tracking these down, it's not going to be easy, but if you live by a neighborhood retailer and you're good with them, that could help. Now, there's also a matching apparel collection that will drop alongside this shoe, but that's the same with the Air Jordan 11 Space Jam that we all are going after. I feel like these have a lot of potential. Obviously, people are going to like the actual Space Jam shoe over these. I could be wrong. There could be a few people who like these over the Space Jam. I was surprised to hear about this shoe, which I found out, I believe Tuesday or Wednesday. I briefly talked about it in Thursday's video and said be on the lookout for Monday's video because I'm going to leak it. There were some things that I needed to get situated before I leak it. One of them being creating the mock-up, two, getting a better idea of the Galaxy print, because as most of you know, there's various shades of Galaxy print out there. And then seeing this stuff, yeah, so putting everything together and getting it out to you guys, I didn't have enough time for Thursday's video. Now, 100% there is another video dropping this week, and there's going to be more leaks in there. So like always, be on the lookout for that. And that's going to do it for this video. Like always, greatly appreciate you guys for watching. If you have a second and haven't done so already, also appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. One more thing, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you can be alerted every time I drop a new video. Now, like I did mention, I'm going to drop another news video this week. Have more leaks to share with you guys. As well, I need to drop a short. I may drop one tomorrow and then another one on Saturday. But from this video, let me know what you liked or disliked down below. As well, if you have any questions, make sure to leave those down below. Again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned to SneakerFiles.com. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe.